friendly as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it is Dash of Dave here, and I am back for another crafty video. So, voice is still all over the place. I am not filming in chronological order at the moment. I'm just filming what I can when I can. So some things I can film right through without coughing, other things I can't, so I'm doing what I can manage. So they won't necessarily be in chronological order, so you know, my voice might change. It might sound like I've got better when actually I am still unwell, because of the linear process of the way that the things are recorded. Anyway, shut up, Dave. So, finish it Friday today. I have been so unwell, I've not been able to film anything for over a week, which means I'm behind, and I'm now trying to film as many videos as I can while I'm feeling in this window of opportunity. So we have this Finish It Friday. Now, this has been on my desk for a couple of weeks because I've not been able to do it. I've had it obviously under the desk for many more weeks before that. Do you remember when we made it, and we made this version of it for I'd made one for Vic's, the wedding that Vic was going to attend, so that he could put his speech in it, and we made a version of it. Then this is that piece, and we are going to finish it today. Well, hopefully we are. So I just put a piece of paper in here that was just blank, that would just kind of fill the space. But I've actually found a piece of paper that is a bit of original. It's come from the Bank of Buffalo, I believe, from 1866, and it was sent to me. Some ephemera that was sent to me, and some of the pages got torn, etc. So I've just cut it. All I've done is I've cut this down to size. The reason I cut this off camera is because it's old paper. It's got a lot of particles in it, and if I breathe those particles in, that triggers a coughing fit, and we don't want that. Equally, I'm not sure how good I am at laughing at the moment. I haven't really been talking, to be fair, because I've been on my own, and whilst I talk to myself, I tend to whisper. So I will see how my voice goes and where we are, but I'm trying not to do anything that triggers it, really. So we will add this to here. So that's what we're going to do, is this will go in here. I don't think I'm going to do anything more to the piece of paper that goes in here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this in here, and rather than this being decorated any more than it already is, it's just going to be as it is. So yeah, that fits in there nicely. So I just wanted to check it fits before I get on with everything else. So I will decorate the rest of it, though. I think I'm going to do something on the front of it. So I think we'll put something on here. I want to, again, just stick to the process of, is it close by? Can I grab hold of it? And will I use it? This has been hanging around for some time. I think I have added some glossy accents to it at some point, and that's why some of the pieces are raised and darker. I don't know whether I like it, though. I think if I did use it, I would cut this bit off so that it was flat to here, and then maybe use something else. I want to keep this Premier Grip, British made. I want to see all of that, but what I put on the front, I have no idea. Like I say, like it to be kind of within arm's length, and luckily all of my little bits of ephemera stuff are always in arm's reach. Oh look, there's another one of them, another one, similar one actually. This one's been seeing the walls a bit more. I don't know, we'll see. Or should we just go with something nice, like pretty, with some leaves on? It's definitely going to lend itself to something large, and that's a bit large, I think, Dave. But you know, maybe one of these outsized ones. What we got? What's that? Is that a poppy? It is. It's a kind of a cross section of a poppy. What else we got? No, that's too large. That's going to cover up what we need, so maybe not that. That might fit on there. That's an idea. At least we have an idea. Which way up's that? That way. It kind of goes on there as well. What's that? No, not them. Not feeling it. Don't know which way around that's supposed to be. That way. Or that way. Sorry, talking still. Talking is my enemy. But obviously it's useful if I do talk because it's a channel that benefits from it. I could do that and cut this bit off, so I quite like that. It's a bit wishy-washy. Yeah, that's a bit meh as well. No, that's a bit meh. There's a lot of meh, not a lot of meh. Yeah, that's a yeah, not a meh. And no, too small. Oh, you know what? I quite like that. I quite like that. It just felt like that kind of just felt right putting that on there. I think we might put that on there. In fact, I'm making an executive decision, and we're not even going to look at the rest of these. Pop those back in there. We're just going to say yes. That's what we're doing, Dave. We're doing that. Right. So, do we want anything else with it? No, that's not taking. That's taking away, not adding. So we'll have that on the front. Do we want anything on the back? You're not really going to see the back. That's the thing. And also, we've got to leave it so that we can get into the access to this. So no, maybe not. Nothing on the back. But we could, of course, have other stuff. We can have other stuff. In fact, other stuff is good sometimes. Sometimes we need other stuff. What's this? This is some cutouts. Oh, I tell you what, instead of cutting out, why don't we make life easier for ourselves? Make life easy on yourself. Let's use some of the things that Corey sent me. Okay, so this, maybe I want some, I could use a bit of this, couldn't I, in the background. It might not be the best like that, but we could definitely tear a bit off and have a little bit behind it. You really want to get behind this project. I can't laugh. Is all I can do without making myself cough, although I think I'm going to have to cough, so excuse me. I'm sure you don't want to hear how I'm breathing, but it's like a rumbly sort of noise. A bit, it's almost like I have swallowed Rice Krispies with the snap, crackle and pop when I breathe. So it's still feel a bit breathless, and I'm not fully able to do the stuff that I was able to do. One of the problems I have now is I need to go and get a tissue because I need to blow my nose. Yes, much better now blowing my nose. So, not sure what else we got here. This, I've got a guest check. Maybe if that was a bit coloured, it would be tear that bit off the top. Maybe if we had it kind of wonky, and a donkey, a wonky donkey. I think I might colour this and see whether it's doing what I want it to do. Whether it's popping, pop. Don't know why I'm doing those stupid actions. So I'm just going to mucky it down and see if it floats me boat. or indeed looks the way that I expected it to look when I was in the planning stages. If I'm talking about nothing today as well, sorry, but still have a lot of brain fog. Whilst it is much better than it was, it's still there. Yeah, quite like that actually. I think what I'll do is I'll probably cut some of the leaves off. Let's go put that like that, maybe like there. Have that coming down to the bottom. Get rid of some of the white areas, and we'll cut some of the edge of the leaves off, maybe a bit further over that way. Yeah. So let me just see if I can cut some of this. I was going to say landfill. It's not landfill. What is it? Landlocked area. It's similar. Dave, well done for getting there in the end. It's also I'm actually looking forward to going back to work, because I've been off work. I've had to. You can tell I'm poorly. 2 ways that you can tell I'm poorly. I have no interest in anything, and I did not want to be at work, and that is not like me, because I am a bit of a workaholic. I love being at work. That's why I run a channel as well. Is because I like to be busy all the time. I'm not very good at being inactive, which is a good job really, because the devil has never been able to make any use of my idle hands, because they're idle. That's one of the sayings that I think my grandma used to say: "Devil makes work for idle hands." So, but yeah, I have had zero interest in doing anything, and that includes going to work, which is definitely not like me, and I knew I was ill if I didn't want to be at work. And also not wanting to be up and dressed. So a big thing for me is, as everybody will know, even just taking something like, if I was just taking something out to my bin, I would need to have got up, had a shower, brushed my teeth, put some clothes on, and I cannot be, I hate being unwashed, and so it was trauma for me when my heating broke down, because it was also heating my water, and I wasn't able to have a shower, and I didn't have any hot water anyway. I was boiling a kettle to have a wash with a flannel at the sink, but it wasn't the same. And so, of course, that was just at the beginning of January, and then I've been poorly since. So I've also had days where I've just not wanted to get up, not wanted to actually. Also, not just not wanted to get up and not have a shower, but the idea of a shower just made me feel unwell. The standing and whilst the idea of the steam was lovely, bliss, but the standing and the sensation, I'm a bit weird with sensation. I say weird, I'm just me. But there are some sensations I really don't like, and if I'm not feeling well, they're not sensations I can tolerate. Now, whilst I love having a shower, sometimes the sensation of water on me is not a pleasant one. That's why I don't like having a bath. And everybody was saying, have a nice long bath, it'll be really good for you, you'll love it. And I haven't had a bath while I've been poorly, because I don't like, even at the best of times when I'm well, don't like sitting in water. I love having a shower normally, but just the sensation of showering I didn't like. There's also the sensation of towel drying as well I don't really like sometimes. So I'm weird, I know, but I am me. It's a very textural thing for me. The world is very textural for me. things that people absolutely love the feel of, I can't tolerate. So I never claimed to be normal. Well, you know what, let's face it, what is normal? How many people are normal? So put your hand down if you've just put your hand up, saying that you're normal, because I'm telling you now, you're not normal. You've just put your hand up at a video anyway, so how normal can you be? Because I can't see you, so who are you putting your hand up to? So yes, it's never claimed to be normal, never wanted to be normal, to be fair. Don't want to fit in, like standing out, thanks. And I will always champion the weirdo. So if you are a bit odd or an odd bod, I will always have your back and champion your corner, because it's us weirdos that keep the world turning, having a different perspective, and you know, life being a little bit different for us means that things go nicely. Now, I'm not going to do all of those, although I've just seen that bit there, and I do want to do that one because I think that's quite a large area to cut out. There we go, get that one out of there. So I shall leave the others in, and what I'll do is actually just, go over them with a bit of that, so they kind of blend in then, and you don't notice so much that they are there. I want that piece there though out, just because it's around the flower bit, and up the top, that piece, I know, strange, tiny piece, and like most of you probably say, well, never even noticed that, so, but that's me. So I think we're going to put this on here. I think I will just trim it off. Yeah, I'm going to have that on there. We'll glue that down. Oh, you know something, because I've been out of the room, the craft room, for a while. I haven't done anything to do with my glue. Who knows? Is it going to come out? I know I needed to fill it up, but I haven't done that either. Should we see if we can do that now? I do have some more of this. This is the Barely Arts glue. And Vic also bought me some more for Christmas anyway, so yeah, I've got plenty here I've got to put in. But I also quite like this Arlene's tacky glue, which I bought on Amazon just before Christmas in the UK, and it was a third of the price. So I bought a big bottle of that, and I bought some for Brian for Christmas as well. I don't know whether there's enough in here to fill this up, but oh dear, this is when it, don't tip it up too much, Dave, because it starts coming out of all sides. Can we get any more out? I don't know. Yep, we can. There's a bit more coming out now. Yeah, so I can't remember what I was saying. COVID brain. Well, I don't even know whether it is COVID. Apparently there's another thing going around that's quite flu-like, and it could have been that. So I don't know what it begins with A. A friend was telling me about it, but like we were on the phone, and like, so I didn't see it. It wasn't like they'd sent me a text about it, so I don't know how it's spelled. What should I do with him? What should I do with an empty bear? Well, no, he's not empty, is he? I need him to. Let's lie him down and see if we can get all the glue to settle on one side. Right, so we'll glue this down. Hopefully it's going to all come out now. Oh, no, maybe not. Filled it up. I still can't get it out. So Vic will be coming tonight. So we haven't really seen very much of each other because he's been poorly. I've been poorly. Last weekend was when we saw each other. We didn't spend a huge amount of time together then because he was coming back from work and he didn't want to be around me because I wasn't very well. Lovely, charming. I know. And I'm not a grumpy, unwell. But, well, I guess everybody is to a certain extent. But I wasn't overly grumpy. It's just that he was worried that I might give him something he hadn't already got. But I do strongly believe I've had exactly the same as what he had. I've just had it in a milder form because I've had a flu vaccine and he hasn't. So because whilst I've experienced some of the symptoms that he had, I certainly didn't get everything that he had. Lost a little bit of a sensation of taste. No, not even taste. More that I'd lost sense of smell. Really, my taste hadn't lost my sense of taste. Things did taste a bit soapy for a few days, but I couldn't say that it'd gone completely. He lost it to the point where everything he could only taste whether something was sweet or savoury or bitter. So I don't know, but he lost his sense of smell, and he's had very blocked sinuses, etc. And I haven't had. I've been very bunged up. Haven't had any kind of ear pressure like he had. So a lot of the things that he's had, I've had a very mild version of that. So I think that's what says to me that we've had the same thing. It's just because I've had a vaccine for it, I've had a milder version. So we'll pop that on there. Let's flatten that all down. Make it look nice. Oh yes, I like that. I like it a lot. Right, what we'll do, I'm going to trim that bit off. I was going to wrap it around the back, but I'm not. I'm going to just trim it off, and that way then it's nice and ends nicely. It's not going to pucker when you open it. It's not going to wrinkle up and that sort of thing. Cut that off. Cool, excellent. Right, let's get rid of those little bits because otherwise, just more things to kind of get stuck to me. So yes, I'm back to work on Monday. I did go back to work on Friday, but when I say back to work, I didn't actually go into work. I worked from home, so I felt well enough to do that. But I'm actually physically going back into work tomorrow, and I say tomorrow, that being Monday for me. Today for me is Sunday the 25th of January. Can you believe it's 25th of January? It is, well, just seems inconceivable that we've even got this far. Right, do we have anything kind of pinky coloured that I could maybe just put in this top corner that would kind of sit nicely with what we have done? I could do that and kind of just tear off that edge, although that is supposed to be like it doesn't have to be a picture. It's like on a thing at the top, like a picture frame, like hanging in a nail. Doesn't have to be like that, does it? You can do what you like, Dave. It's yours. We could have a flower. Yeah. I'd like to use something. Oh, what about that? Oh no, shame that border is on the wrong side. Although, could we have it that way? You could, I guess, have it growing down. But you'd be able to tell it was growing down, wouldn't you? For me, I can't do it, but for you, you might be able to. We could have a couple of little stamps. We could have a little cluster of things in that corner, couldn't we? Maybe do that. What else have we got on here? What we could do? There's another picture there. I'm not feeling the butterflies today. Another cluster of flowers. Right, so that's in pink. What else have we got there? Not pink. They're not. I feel like the pink would be the best thing because it's kind of matching up. Nothing in theirs feels right for this. No. Not that. Right, okay, what's this one? Got a nice cluster of pink flowers. Oh, which way up are they? What about them? What would they look like? Let's see if I can just kind of do that and tuck my thing underneath. Do you know what? I think I could quite like that. I think we'll go with that then. Have that in that top corner. I know it's probably the wrong way up, but yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And I feel like maybe a bit of something. Maybe a bit of this. Maybe a bit of this in that top corner, kind of torn off, to ensure that we don't cover up the bits, the text that I said I wanted to keep. So do that, and then put that on there. Yeah, I like that actually. We will ink the edge of this. In fact, we will when we've got a bit of colour on it. So I'll use roasted chestnuts on an open fire. Chestnuts roast. Oh, shut up, Dave. It's too early for any of that, or too late. One of the two. Too early. It's like 12 months too early, or too late, like a month too late. In fact, actually, it's a month. It was a month today, wasn't it? Well, for me today, which is the 25th of January for me. So December was the 25th of December, obviously, because it being Christmas, it tends to be the same date. It's not like Easter; it doesn't move around. Random things that my brain speaks about, but it is what it is, as they say. Yes, I like that. I think those on there together. I think I'm going to have it like that and just cut off the edge of that flower. Yeah, I want a little bit more ink on the corner of there, and I'm going to glue this down. Utilising some of my scraps. Put that on there. We don't need a huge amount on there. It's only going in the corner. It's not going to see much wear and tear. Oh, it's already torn. Oh, Dave, you didn't make a very good job of that. Let's try again. Now the glue is dried. Let's try again. I don't seem to have the energy to move a piece of paper with a bit of glue on the back. That's about right. That's how I felt the last few weeks. Zero energy. Probably why I had zero interest in anything. So pop that on there. I like that. I know that they're kind of growing down, but yeah, we'll do that. I don't know how far up the corner it needs to go, but where it stops, no one knows. Just put enough on it so it sticks down. And do you know what? Whilst I've been poorly as well, I have not even wanted to watch anything. So I've not been interested in, like, I know that my colleagues have just put some like trashy movies on, and like I didn't even want to do that. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be involved in anything or be where the heck have I'm sure I've definitely just had a scalpel. What's that? Yeah, so I just didn't even want to do that. No interest in anything. I slept a lot. Blimey. I thought thought I was hibernating. So normally, 6.5, 7 hours is usual for me. And my internal body clock will just wake me up and go, ta-da, done. Bit like, toaster, popped up, ready. But no, my internal body clock was like, no, you shut down. And I wasn't waking up. I slept for 16 hours one day. 16 hours. That's inconceivable. So yeah, a bit like a tortoise over the winter. Somebody should have packed me with straw and put me in a box. But I don't know whether people hibernate, that make their tortoises hibernate these days, but that's certainly something we used to do as kids. Well, my dad used to do it, and then we'd always have that trepidation of, in the spring, has it survived the winter, or is it just a shell with maggots in? Let's not talk about that. So, anyway, so I'm going to have this in here. All I'm going to do for this is I just want to kind of put a bit of an inky edge around it, just to make it nice and oldie looking. Maybe do the same on the leaves, just like it's had seen a bit of action, a bit of wear and tear, a bit like me. Gone a bit off colour, well, definitely been off colour the last few weeks, but and then do the same for this way round. I don't think I want to decorate these edges. I think I'm just going to leave them as they are. I will do something on the things on the inside. Let's put that in there. Oh, I think that needs to come a bit further in. And I might just give this a bit of an edge, although it is quite inky anyway. It is certainly across that edge and that edge, because they're the original edges. These are the two of the cut edges, so we'll just kind of make it similar. And actually, this chestnut roasted chestnut roasted whatever is a very similar colour to the colour that it's gone. So we'll do that. Maybe that edge as well. I know it's got a little bit of colour on it, but a bit more. There we go. And put that in there. Why does that say DR? Does that say DR, doctor? Or OR, order? I don't know. But it says statement for a statement of Main Bank of Buffalo. I think it did say Bank of Buffalo. It only says Bank of Buff now. Cool, that's going to go in there. That's going to go like that, and that's going to fold over. Excellent. Right, so on these, what are we going to do on these? So let's take these off and make the background of this a similar sort of colour to that. Just by rubbing a bit of ink over it. My sponge, as we know, has got a bit of alopecia to it, so it's kind of falling apart at the seams. Oh, how am I ready? Yeah. So something my yesterday dreams are empty and me. Oh, all of my yesterday's dreams are empty and meaningless until you know. So you definitely don't want me singing with a voice like this, do you? You don't want me singing anyway, I know. Rude is all I can say. No, we've already discussed this. You don't want me singing, but well, no, actually, every time I say you don't want me to sing, people say, "Oh, we love you singing." And I'm like, really? What? You really need to get your ears tested. You're obviously not hearing very well if you like me singing. Which again is rude, but from my perspective it's rude. No, from your perspective it's rude. Oh, shut up, Dave. I might have to cough. Sorry. It's better when I've had something to drink. I think it just kind of just lubricates my throat a bit, which is what we need. Alexa's downstairs talking to herself. I set a reminder for 6 p.m. every day. Not every day, every Sunday, to remind me to do something. I always think, I really need to change that when she reminds me to do that, because I forget every week, and I'm always upstairs crafting when she's doing it. So it really needs to be something where I'm in the room and I can hear it. And whilst I always hear her doing it and go, oh, that's what she's telling me. By the time I get downstairs, I'll have forgotten to do it. So anyway, one of those things. One of them that happens. It's like taking my metformin when it's like, I'm diabetic, so I have to take metformin after a meal, and it's not something you can set a reminder for. So people say, well, why don't you set a reminder? Because I can't set a reminder for it, because it's not something I do at a regular day at a regular time, because I have to do it after I've eaten, and that's not a regular day on a regular time. I might put that on there, actually. Can I just tear that, though? I don't know, can I? Shall we see? Is that possible? Is it going to tear? Will it tear? It will tear. That's good. So if I do that, and I do that, and tear that bit off there. I don't know whether it'll tear this way, because the grain runs the other way. Oh, it will. That's fine. Good. Last time I tried to tear this stuff, it just didn't tear on the line. But of course, making a liar of me now. So, but yeah, so it's so nice to be able to just sit in here and do stuff and craft and talk to you, and be able to just do a video without. I realise I'm going to have to edit this to some extent, but nowhere near as much as I've been having to edit of late, because I've been coughing a lot. Yeah, we'll do that like that. So just being able to do a video, because I couldn't even be bothered to edit my videos. So I'd got some filmed and not uploaded, because I knew I needed to edit them, and I could not even bring myself to edit videos. And that, it's not like I have to run around the block to do it. I don't have to generate my own electricity to do it. I just couldn't be bothered. I think it was more the brain taxing thing. Nobody wants to tax my brain. They wouldn't get much for it if they did. Right, okay, let's have a look. Do we have something we can put on here? Oh, what is that? Oh, is it mad that I like that? Well, is it mad that I like that? No. Do I like that? I do like that. I really like that. We're going with that. Wow, first thing out. First thing out of the bag, and I don't know whether there's any point trying to ink the edge of this, because it is too spiky. Just get all of the white bits done. I think that, and we'll maybe put something over the top of it. I like that, though. And I know you don't see all of that, but hey, I'm not worried. Which way up are we doing this, Dave? You didn't like that. Which way? I can't remember what I did now. Like that. Yeah, like that. In fact, I've just heard my neighbour say, yeah, I agree. So, I think she was talking to, she works in this room that I craft in, so I think she works for a financial institution, so she works over the weekends, and I think she's sometimes on conference calls and things. But yeah, sometimes I'm talking and her answers marry up with what I've just asked. So on this occasion, she said, yes, I agree. So there we go. Can't say fairer than that, can you? The voice, not just the voices in my head agreed, but the voices on the outside did as well. So we'll do that. And we are happy about that. I might keep that one out because that came out at the same time. I don't want to get rid of that and not use it. So that on there, and we can put. Can we put anything with it? I don't know where it is. If it is here, just I did have some. Oh, they're there. They're not even out of reach. They're just out of sight, out of mind. I've got some of my hoi polloi and kindred people. I might see if anything's gonna go. Might be a bit big. Could have printed some. Should have printed some littler ones. Because of course, when you have them on a digital print that you can print yourself, oh, actually, I quite like them. Like that. Oh, are they covering too much of that up? No, I don't think they are. I'm going to put them on there. Yep, I like that. Yeah, so you know when like you buy the Timmy ones, the paper dolls. Problem with them is they are all a set size, and you shouldn't photocopy them because they are not your intellectual property. Whereas with mine, they are still my intellectual property, but they are digitals, and so you can print them whatever size you like. And I encourage you to do so. Print them to whatever size. So, having spoken about Tim, what have we got here? We'll use something of Tim's because I haven't printed any of mine out. In my heart, no. Choose to shine. That goes really well with that because that does look like almost like a starburst or a solar flare. So we're going to take that bit apart. Take a look at yourself. I can see through your smile. You couldn't wait to bring all of that sadness to my door. Well, I've got news for you. I knew people. Okay, where are we going to go? You're going in there, so we should do it so that you can see. Yeah, we'll have it a bit further up so you can see it sticking out of the pocket. So, where did I say up there? That's fine. That's all right. Actually, it doesn't cover up any of her and her lovely bouquet of things. That can go in there. Hopefully, it can. Please don't cause me any trouble. That can go in there. It can go in there. We might need. Oh, you know what we need. What do we need when it's not working, going to plan? We need a bit of candle, don't we? We just need a bit of wax on it just to make it more slippery. Doesn't need a lot, just needs a little bit just to kind of lubricate that. There we go, much better. Oh, cool. Yep, I like that. So, on that basis, should we do something very similar with this? What did I have here? No, I think that now that needs to be bigger, unless we have it. We could have it growing out at the top of something, maybe. And if we did, we could... No, not her. She's too big. I think. I've just had Wanda. Where did I put Wanda? Oh heck! What did I do with that? Oh, it's in there. Wanda. We could have something else down here. No, not that. That. Oh, we could maybe have something out one of these books, couldn't we? What do we have in here? Oh, maybe. Oh, let's. What about? How about that? Could that go? That might go in there, mightn't it? Have this plinth pedestal, whatever it's called. Pedestal? You put me on the pedestal. I put you on the pedestal. You put me on the pill. Don't feel mad about letting you know. I'll just feel sad about letting you go. I don't want to change. Yeah. The world. Is that weird? Is that strange, bizarre, weird? It is. Is it strange, bizarre, weird? Good. It is. We could do with something else, though. I want something for him to be Wonder Notes. I want him to be grounded on something. Wonder Story. Remember you're a womble. Remember what a womble you are. Listen to your heart note. Listen to your heart. Yeah, no. Yes, no. Limited edition? Wonder, limited edition. Oh, I quite like that. We could have him standing on limited edition, couldn't we? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so, is there too much white in this? Probably. Are we going to cut it out? Possibly. Do I want to cut it all out? No. Why don't we want to cut it all out, Dave? Because there's so much of it, and we could be here all day. And also, we can't be here all day, because I've got other stuff I need to do. I've got the videos I need to record, you know, folks. It's not just this. I'm going to have to edit a little. I'm going to have to, not edit the video, but edit how much I'm cutting out. So, cutting through some stems that maybe should have stayed. But it will look beautiful nevertheless. So yeah, some of this I'll do, but not all of it, because it's, like I say, it's just a lot. Try not to slip and then slice everything through. That's be a good idea, Dave. But like not fully edited, not fully, perfect cutting. It's just going to be what it is. Oh, much better. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. There you go, Dave. See, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just putting too much pressure on yourself. I can't keep this pressure on. I can't keep this pressure on. I can't keep this pressure on. That was not a nice sound to hear coming from me, was it? So it was like air escaping more than singing. Let's get that out of there. And do we need maybe a bit out of here? Although I probably could do that with a pair of scissors because it's not a landlocked area. Where are we scissors? Where are we scissors? There they are. So let's get in here and perhaps do that bit with, where is it? There's that one. Maybe do this with a pair of scissors because it's just a bit easier that way. Especially because it's quite a big area. And remember, Dave, it doesn't have to be perfect. Not sure what time Vic's getting here today, so I mean, it depends on whether he's going to go home first, because you know we have the pet kit products that tell us all about, like Fluffy and whether there's water in her water fountain and whether there's food in her automated feeder, and is she got space in her space toilet for her business, So, and I noticed that her space toilet was saying that the waste chamber needed to be emptied. So I don't know whether he's gone home to do that first. I mean, like usually it's a bit like, you know, when it says your car says it's running out of fuel, and it's always a bit overzealous. It makes you panic, and you've actually got like 50 odd miles to go. It's probably a bit like that. So Wanda, we're gonna have Wanda there, aren't we? Yeah. So shall we stick right? I want to make sure there's enough space for that. So maybe that's the first thing to stick down, is this, because this is what's going to dictate how high up Wanda goes, because we're going to stand Wanda on this plinth. So this is what we're going to do, is ink this, glue this down. That will tell us where Wanda goes. Where Wanda goes, no one knows. It's not a fish called Wanda, it's a plinth called Wanda. That was a film, wasn't it? Fish Called Wanda. I think it was a British one. I'm sure it's got Michael Caine in. My name's Michael Caine. That's not how he says it, though, is it? So no, don't don't do that again, Dave. Right, let's take the back off that. It's way too thick. It'll just get in the way of the whole thing. A bit of ink around there. Nose is getting bunged up now. So do that. Put that on there. So we're going to have that glued from about there. Let's just put a line. Yeah, and I'll put the glue on the back of this, and then we'll put this, stick this down. Yeah, so I'm definitely on the mend. I'm hoping that my wheezy breathing hasn't turned into a bit of a chest infection. But I mean, like, you know, like I say, I can talk a lot more than I was able to, and I'm definitely not feeling the lethargy that I was. So I think whatever's happened, I'm definitely getting there. Whether I've got there or I'm completely there, I don't know, but I'm definitely getting there. Let's just use that to press that down. That's lovely, excellent. We're going to have, that's going to go on there, but you're going to go behind, and we're going to have, what is it, limited edition. We're going to have that there, yeah. So that's going to come together, isn't it, nicely. So we're going to have him, can we have him there? Well, don't want to completely lose his elbow. Yeah, we'll have him there. So let's put a line there, because you won't see it anyway. I will just ink around the edge of him and in through his arm. Just get rid of the white edge of the paper, well, as best as possible anyway. And then we'll glue him down. Make sure his feet are glued down, because they're the things that kind of get flipped up from putting in and out of pockets. So pop him on that mark that I put. He's going to go there, and then that's going to go on there. Was that what I was going to do, or was going to lift? Was he going to sit in front of that? I don't know. Well, can I get that off in order to put him in front of that now? Yes, of course I can, Dave. Of course I can. Yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, let's do it that way. Now, well, now I've peeled it up, I might as well do it that way. And then we'll pop that on there. Yep, excellent. In fact, we can glue that bit down now. Wonderful. Wonderful, actually, if we're going to be pedantic. And then we can have limited edition stuck on there. And again, we'll just take the back of it off. There's not so many layers of it. Oh, is that too thin? Is that going to rip? No, that was alright. And then we'll put limited edition like that. Stick that on there. In fact, I'm just going to snip the end of that off just because the border is a bit wider on that end than it is on the other end. And then we will glue it down. Do that. Pop that on there. And he can then stand on that. In fact, pop that on there and he can actually stand on that. There we go. Lovely. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? And then we'll just trim that bit off and that bit off. And then he can go in there. And that should go down. Oh, it might need a little bit of a lift in order to get it in. There we go. Perfect. Oh, look, you can see him poking out the top. Oh, good. Excellent. A bit of interaction. And maybe one of these. Maybe listen to your heart just on here with a bit of, maybe a bit of this in the background. Maybe use that bit, so we'll go this end, ink the end of that, and there, top of that, around all the sides, lovely, pop that on there. I think that's what we'll do, and we'll have listen to your heart, like that, yeah, like that, and I'll again separate it a bit. Oh no, Dave, you don't want it. I was putting this on the back for glue, but that's not what I was trying to do. And maybe, just maybe a little flower, just a little flower. We'll have that poking out the top. So we will, let's glue that to there. Which way up is that? That way. We'll have that like that. Should we have it there? Should we have it there? We'll have it there. Okay, so a bit of glue on the bottom of that. Put that there. We'll have that on there. On there. Maybe a bit. I think that just, sorry, brain was just going, no, that's two in the middle for me. Don't like it. It's two in the middle. Looks too. What's the word? Is it contrived? Yeah. So we'll do that. Glue it down. Put a bit of glue on the back of there now. On here. On there. And then we'll glue that down. That pink just picks up that pink there. So, and then we'll glue it down. There's still a bit of glue on that, the back of that flower. I don't need any more. And put that on there, just to give that pocket just some kind of decoration. Choose to shine. Listen to your heart. Bish bash bosh. Done. There we go. So I'm just going to tidy up and then I'll come back to you. I'm going to tidy up and I'll be really honest with you. I'm going to tidy up and blow my nose. How exciting is my life. So there we go. We have finished this. I have had a good cough. I've blown my nose and my voice seems to be a bit better. I've had some pink lemonade, which for some reason when I put the straw in, effervesced everywhere, and luckily I managed to not get any on here, but I got it all down the front of me, so I'm sat here in wet clothes. Luckily sugar free, so it's not sticky. Anyway, too much information. So yes, we have finished it. I've gone for a pink lemonade with the pink anyway. So lots of pink things on this today. So this is the front. I really love how it looks. And then we've got our tags inside, so that's Wonder Limited Edition, and that just pops back in there. Might need to just open it up a bit. That Wanda is still quite three-dimensional, so just pop it in there. We have him so that we can just see him sticking out. There we go. And then we've got Choose to Shine. We've got this little card here. I love the way that just came together. And that just pops in there. Obviously goes in there much easier with a bit of wax on it. And then we've got our piece of buffalo bank of buffalo. Didn't realise buffaloes did banking, but there you go. So anyway, shut up, Dave, on that. So there we go. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed today's little make and our another Finish It Friday. Another thing tick off in the bag. Another completed project. How wonderful is that? So anyway, hope you've had some fun with me. My name is Dasher Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love from me. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Bye. Bye.